Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, come back with me Deviana Azahroh. On this occasion, I will discuss about Review Lab 3. And this topology. The first, we do configuring the router server. Login. The first step we do is check its interface using the command interface print. Enter. Next, we connect the router, the internet by configure the DHCP client via the VLAN 1 interface by using the command IP DHCP client at interface VLAN 1 disable no. Enter. Next, we check it using the command IP DHCP client print. Type again because IP is searching. We can see that we have got an IP address that is 192.168.1.32/24 with interface VLAN 1 and its status is bound or connected. Next, ping the IP gateway and google.com. I'm sorry. We can see that status is reply. Next, ping google.com. We can see that the ping Google has been successful. After that, we create a bridge interface. Here I give the name server because it's a router server. Using the command interface bridge at name server. Enter. Then we check it with the command interface bridge print. We can see we have success in create a bridge interface with the name server because there is already an R running symbol. Then we add the interface port to the server interface on Ether2 and Ether3 interface with the command interface bridge port at bridge server and interface is Ether2 and Ether3. Then when we do the bridge on Ether2 and Ether3, the router will automatically reboot. Click reconnect. If we have checked the interface port that we have added to the bridge interface by using the command interface bridge port print. We can see that we have successfully added port to interface Ether2 and Ether3. After that, we check what interfaces are available on the router with the command interface print. We can see that the Ether2 and Ether3 interface have the RES flag, which means running sleeve. And there is an interface that has the name server, which is the bridge interface that we have created. Then we configure the IP address on the server interface using the command IP address at address 117.17.10.10/24 interface server. Enter and check with the command IP address print. Here we can see that the IP address configuration we did was successful. Next, we make a DHCP server so that the client can greet the IP dynamically. Here we can use two methods, namely manual and setup. Here I use setup to do the configuration. Enter the command interface. IP DHCP server setup. Enter. DHCP server interface is a bridge server. DHCP address space is default, gateway network default, and address to give out default, and then a server is IP internet access or access point. Next. After that, we check the network connection details section. Before doing test, we do disable and enable. Wait. We can see that the IP address has been successfully changed to the IP address that we configured earlier. Close. Next, ping to the IP gateway via CIMD. Sorry. 172.16.10.10. We can see that status is reply, which means that the router is connected to the client. Next, ping google.com. So this is ping Google is cannot to the internet because it's the connect to the cannot network the internet. Back to Winbox. Because we cannot connect to the internet network, we configure the net firewall to the connect to the network with the command IP firewall not 8 chain is archinat out interface is interface access point is VLAN1 and action masquerade. Enter and check with the command IP firewall not print. Enter. We can see that the configure firewall NAT was successfully done. Next, we change to the IP static with the command IP DHCP. Before change to the IP static, we check with the command IP DHCP server list print. We can see that the IP address has been flagged D. Next, change the IP to static with the command IP DHCP server list make static number 0. Enter. Check whether the IP address has changed to static or not by typing the command IP DHCP server list print. We can see that the IP has changed to static because there is no T-sync or dynamic. Then we make edit to the static IP address as a topology is 172.16.10.20/24. Type the command IP DHCP server list set number 0 address 172.16.10.20. Enter. Next, check with the command IP DHCP server list print. We can see that the IP address has been changed to the configure edit IP. Next, check the IP of the computer by disabling on the enable at the first. We can see that the IP on the computer has been changed to the static IP is 172.16.10.20. Close. Next, we check to the Ping Google via CMD. Before checking by using Google Ping on the CMD, we turn off internet access first. We can see that the status is BP, which means that the router server is connected to the internet network. Next, we configuring the router client. Before doing configuring the router client, we move to UTP cable on the Ether 4. Origin. Next, we log in to the Identity Deviana client. Connect. We check the interface that will be used by using the command interface. Sorry. After that, we create a bridge interface on the client router so that the client router can use the packet to the client through the bridge interface. Here I give the client name. Using the command interface bridge add name client because it's router client. Enter. Where we check it with the command interface bridge print. We can see that we have success is create a bridge interface with the name client because there is already flags are running. Then we add the interface port to the client interface on the Ether1 and Ether4 interface with the command interface bridge port add bridge is client interface Ether1 and Ether4. Third, router is automatically reboot. Next, check port with the command interface bridge port print. We can see that the interface bridge port has been successful to the Ether1 and Ether4. If we have checked the interface print with the command interface print, we can see that the Ether1 and Ether4 interface have an ERS flag, which means one is left, and there is an interface named client, which is the bridge interface that we have created. Here we connect the client router to the server router by making a DHCP client request via the client interface using the command IP DHCP client at interface client disable no. Enter and check with the command IP DHCP client print. We can see that IP address is 172.16.10.x/24. Next, we check network connection. Before disable and enable, we can see that IP address cannot change because it's IP laptop client. Close. We check the DHCP client print. So this host is 8 and this topology we change to the host 30. Move to the server router. and login with the identity Deviant server. We change the IP to static IP with the command IP DHCP server list print. Next, we add the change to the IP static with the command IP DHCP server list make static number 1. Enter. Next, we check with the command IP DHCP server list print. We can see that number 1 has connected to the flag B because we change the IP static. Next, we make edit to the static IP address using the command IP DHCP server list set number 1 address 172.16.10.30. Enter. Next, we check with the command IP DHCP server list print. We can see that the IP address has been changed to the host 30. Next, we move to the client router to test whether the static IP we create for the client router has changed or not. Next, login with the identity Deviant client. Here, we disable enable first so that the IP changes. With the command IP DHCP server, DHCP client disable number 0. Next, enable. Then we check if they using the command IP DHCP client print. We can see that the IP address has been changed to the IP static, which is 172.16.10.30/24. With the interface is client and status is bound or connected. Next, we check with the ping AP gateway and google.com on MikroTik. We can see that to the ping its status is reply. Next, ping google.com. We can see that to the ping google.com has been successful because its status is reply. Next, after that, because the IP does not match of topology, we do the static configuration to change. We change to the IP static is 172.16.10.40/24. We move to the router server to the configure the IP static. login with identity Deviana server. Check with the command ipdhcp server, please print. We change the IP to static is number 0 to the topology is host 40. We change the auto IP static with the command ipdhcp server, please set number 0 address 172.16.10.40. Enter. Next, check with the command ipdhcp server, please print. Enter. We can see that the number 0 has been changed to the configure IP static. Next, we check to the network details. Before to do testing, we do disable and enable. We can see that the IP address has been changed to the IP static on the same in topology. Next, ping IP gateway and ping Google via CMD. We can see the ping IP gateway is successful because status is reply. Next, we check the testing ping to the google.com. Before doing, turn off on the internet access. We can see that the ping Google has been reply successful. And that's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.